I just finished 7 rounds of boxing, uh, orthodox stance, 7 5-minute rounds of boxing, that is. And it reminded me of a conversation I had with a guy. It was probably around 1990, about 33 years ago. I was doing a lot of karate and judo back then, and we were talking about what was the best supplemental martial art to do. If you were doing two martial arts, what would be the best supplemental martial art? Now, this was before a lot of the popularity of the UFC and things like that. Nobody knew about Gracie Jiu Jitsu or anything back then, but there were people like me who were experimenting with multiple martial arts, even though it was heavily frowned upon by our senseis and whatever our chosen art was. I always worked out with different people, and I was secretly doing judo, um, or at least I thought I was secretly doing judo. My karate instructor uh, probably knew about it by then. He eventually found out about it. I think somebody ratted me out because this was a big deal back then. You were only supposed to do one martial art, whoever you were loyal to or whatever, all that kind of thing. Um, 1990. I think I was also doing boxing. I think the Soviet Union fell apart in 1989, and at that time I was training boxing with a Russian from the Association for New Canadians. Me and my buddy were volunteering there when the Soviet Union fell apart. A lot of Russian immigrants flooded the city and needed English instruction. And the guy I ended up instructing was a Russian dermatologist, and my buddy ended up with a Russian engineer who was also a boxing coach. At that time, my friend was in the Army Reserves, and he went away for the summer, so I took on both of these guys, and the engineer, who was also the boxing coach, uh, decided to teach me boxing. He knew I was a karate man, and he knew that I trained in judo also, so we kind of hit it off and talked about that sort of thing, and he wanted to work out and get back at training. So that's what we did. He taught me boxing, I taught him English. We hung out all the time. Anyway, it was a great thing, but that's not the point of this conversation. Around that time, actually, it was probably prior to that because I don't think I was boxing at the time, but I was doing Tai Chi with my karate and judo. And I got into a conversation with a guy. I think I don't remember what art he was doing, but he was from a different club, but we used to work out a bit. And he asked me what my opinion of the best supplemental martial art. Oh, this was actually probably earlier than this because I think I was doing Kempo karate at the time, which was my first style. And I said Tai Chi. And he looked at me like I had two heads and thought I was absolutely crazy. But many years later, at least 33 years later, probably more, I stand by that to a large degree. Do I think it's the best supplemental? No, but I think it is very fundamental, and let me explain why. If I were to say what's a great supplemental art to add to your martial arts routine, if I were to say yoga, a lot of people would say, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense because, flexibility and balance and things like that. Well, here's the deal with Tai Chi. When I was doing Tai Chi, I instantly noticed I became very aware viscerally. My proprioceptors your proprioceptors are nerve bundles in every joint of your body, and the information it sends to your brain is where you are in space at all times. It's what, if you fall in water, you get confused, you don't know which way is up, things like this. Well, your proprioceptors are in every joint, and they tell your body where everything is in 3D space. And the funny thing about it is, even if you're carrying a long pole that attaches to your body, you know exactly where that pole, no matter how long it is, whether you're painting a ceiling or whether you're doing all kinds of things, a sword, a knife, a pole, a gun. You can project from your proprioceptors where that ends in space. It's really fascinating, actually, but I'm getting off topic again. But these proprioceptors will tell you where every joint of your body is, so they're extremely important for balance and things like that. And one thing I noticed with Tai Chi, yes, what are you complaining about? I know the birds were there, but I'm talking right now. The dog is here mumbling it. Anyway, the point is knowing where your body is at all times, and every joint. And as I was moving very slowly, slowing down my martial arts techniques, you can feel almost every ounce or every pound of your weight shifting from one foot to the other. You feel your hips turning. You feel every joint rearranging. And you're relaxing, you're breathing. You're so aware of your weight, your balance, your motion through space, your relaxation. It's meditation through movement, and it's very similar to yoga in many ways. And as you're moving through balance and feeling your weight shifting, and you're rotating your hips, and you're rotating this and that, and you're in perfect balance, and you're breathing, you're controlling your breathing, it's a whole new dimension to your martial arts. I just threw 1,500 plus punches in 7 rounds downstairs. Yes, volume is critical. It's extremely important to exhaust the muscles, because that's when your body produces more mitochondria, these little energy generators in your cells. The more mitochondria you have in the muscle, the more muscular endurance you're going to have. That's why you have to keep doing it. You have to keep, otherwise your body's going to cannibalize these mitochondria they built. They're very expensive energy-wise. They take a lot of calories to maintain, and your body's going to get rid of them if you're not using them. So that's why you can't just train once in a while. You have to keep your endurance up, and that's why it goes away so quickly. But once you get your thousands and thousands of repetitions a week in, if I'm doing 1,500 a day, and I do that 4 days a week, so we're talking 6,000 repetitions a week times, say, 50 weeks. So that's 30,000 punches, if my math is right. Maybe it's 300,000 punches. I can't remember. It's probably 300,000 punches in a year, which is significant. It's basically 1,000,000 punches every 3 years. And if you do this for 15, 20 years, you're doing 5 million plus punches. 6, 7 million punches. Numbers get up there. But when you slow down and you're going super slow, and you're noticing your proprioceptors are telling your body where you are in space and time, you're not overcommitting, and you know exactly where you are in your balance and your joints, and you're also stretching these joints and things like that. It's just phenomenal. And fast breathing, fast punching, that sort of thing, slow breathing, slow punching, motion. Anyway, there's so many benefits to Tai Chi. I'm not saying Tai Chi alone is the best martial art to do. It certainly isn't, because you're not getting the repetitions in. But if you're getting your repetitions in, and then you do your Tai Chi, so many benefits. And even these MMA fighters and guys like that, they're doing all kinds of exercises for their balance, standing on balls and whatnot. That's fantastic. You got to work your balance. You got to work your other skills, and your flexibility, things like that. I mean, there's what, four main components of physical fitness. There's strength, skill, endurance, flexibility. Well, on top of that, you work things like balance, your secondary traits. There's a bunch more. I can't really think of them off the top of my head. But anyway, I wanted to discuss that with you because I remember that conversation when I was doing my boxing, and I'd like to share it with you guys. So anyway, we'll talk some more. I'm probably going to have a shave. I'm probably going to give myself a haircut, and I'll probably do some cooking later. So look forward to some videos coming out, and hope you enjoyed spending some time with the Squadron. Till next time, love you. Who loves you, baby? This guy, don't forget about him. Remember, you're somebody's favorite person in this world, probably mine. So till next time, goodbye, and you'll be hearing from me soon. Bye now.